Trip down memory lane, written by Shri N.J. Ravichandar. Memories of my initial years in the State Bank of India are still etched. I took up the written test on my father's prompting, and it was he who helped me fill up the application form published in the local daily. The exam included problem solving, multiple choice questions, essays, and letter writing. So I was glad that my father's efforts paid off when months later confirmation of being selected for the interview at the regional office of the bank in Bengaluru arrived. The three-member interview panel quizzed me for 15 minutes, besides making me read a paragraph from a Kannada daily, but I responded well. It, therefore, came as no surprise when I got the nod for a job that became my bread and butter. A bank job was much praised in those days, and I recall my parents speaking about it with pride. An agent, also called the assistant general manager who headed the branch, greeted me on my first day in the office. The recruits were also taken around by the branch manager's PA and introduced to other staff members. We believe the agent was vested with vast powers, including hiring employees, in an era when recruitment boards were non existent. In the pre computer era, salaries were paid in crisp currency notes and not credited to the bank account. The head clerk handed over the cash in an envelope after the employee scribbled his signature over a revenue stamp affixed on the extreme right of an enormous salary register. It was not mandatory to maintain a savings account then, and payday would see a serpentine queue in front of establishment section. The branch also venerated the goddess of wealth and purity, Lakshmi, every Friday, and after the puja concluded, prasad distribution would inevitably follow. In the early 1980s, the bank put up a full page advertisement in a local daily exhorting the heirs of inoperative lockers to call on the branch. Following independence, many Europeans sailed home, leaving behind their valuable possessions. In addition, thousands of Indian and British nationals perished in the two world wars, leaving scores of unclaimed lockers and deposits. The bank dashed off letters to the heirs to call on the bank, but when many returned undelivered, the bank sealed the unclaimed vaults. The name of my paternal uncle, a decorated World War II veteran, also figured in the newspaper advertisement. He had stored his military decorations in a wooden box and housed them in a locker at the bank, but had not operated it for decades, though the bank continued to deduct the annual rent regularly. After my father showed him the advertisement, he called on the bank to withdraw his prized possessions. He finally donated the medals to the Madras Engineering Group and Center MEG, and these have pride of place in its museum. I also recall getting trapped in a lift after stowing away the cash in the basement currency chest. We had stepped into the elevator to return to our desks on the ground floor when the power failed. There was no backup power then, so we remained literally in the dark while furiously banging on the door and calling for help before one of the armed guards turned savior and bailed us out by pricing open the elevator doors with a long bamboo pole. Thank you very much.